you were talking about religious institutions. When you talk about religion, you have to look at how religion is represented in society, which is the whole thing that we're discussing here, whether religion actually should have a place in society at all. You also mentioned that religion is a way that people find hope and meaning in their life. I was brought up without religion, so I was pretty objective in looking at religious organisations, despite the fact that I went to a Catholic school. But in finding hope and meaning in my life, if I look at a Catholic church nowadays and look at the institution that represents the Catholic religion, I don't understand how an institution that has ruined so many lives through fear, through abuse, through covering up scandals, how can that give a human being hope and meaning in life?
Well, the question of cherry picking, no, you see, again, you assume that the institutional representation of the phenomenon is the entirety of the phenomenon. It's not. The nature of the essence of religion is the desire from within mankind.
I totally understand that, but the institution is how it's represented.
Yeah,
you can't say that.
And there are many good things about the institution as well. You know, the education. Now you talk about that. You say, you know, you haven't, you have had no religious upbringing. But then in the next part, you said you were to a Catholic school, and that's the truth.
Yes, it was forced upon me.
Well,
there was no secular
but you have
schools in
benefited from
society.
the fruit of a culture which is generated out of the Christian proposal. So you cannot say, you cannot prove your hypothesis other than by going somewhere where all the people are of your beliefs, and then living your life in that kind, bringing your children up there and seeing what the consequences will be. You have breathed in the benefits of Christian.
I honestly haven't seen any benefits of Catholicism.
Well, you haven't, because nobody will talk about them, nobody will look at them. But the benefits we had over many years, the education system, which provided education for many people, which tended to the sick and the poor and the dying when nobody else would do it, when the state was completely ineffective and unable to do things. The church stepped in this culture and provided education, nursing care, and many, many benefits. To this day, organisations like the St. Vincent, but they came from a Christian position, and they came from a Christian culture, and they brought the proposal of Jesus Christ out into the public highways and byways, and they fed people and they nursed people without any thought of themselves, and to this day they do it in organisations like the Vincent de Paul, in all kinds, even in some hospitals there.
John, can I actually just cut in myself there? They also rape children and cover it up. How do you explain that? How can you ignore that in one breath? And yet say that they educated children.
Other people other than priests rape children.
I'm not doubting that for a second, but you still haven't addressed the fact that the Catholic Church is still responsible for that.
I said human beings are intrinsically prone to evil, and there's no reason to anticipate that a priest is any less prone to that in culture than anybody else.
So why should we listen to them then?
Well, we listen to them to the extent that they speak to us about what is fundamentally true about ourselves. And they bring to us the wisdom of the ages about man in his total reality.
But they're evil, you said. They have this inherent evil.
I'm not saying that. Well, human beings have an intrinsic capacity for evil. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
Sorry, Peter, if you just want to...
Under the one breath, you just said humans have an intrinsic capacity for bad or evil. Yeah. But then... in the second breath, you say when they do good, it's because of the religion. So how would you reconcile the idea of because all good is done because of the religion, but if they do bad,
that's not what I'm saying.
That's just humans?
That's a complete distortion. I'm saying that religion has been the main carrier of civilizing values in our culture, in European culture and in Irish culture. Now, you know, you can criticise all the things you like, but unless you can say, propose a way in which we can remove that completely and replace it. And I'm not convinced by Michael's idea. And there's nowhere that it has been completely tested in laboratory conditions. And the risk that we're taking in trying to usher in such a regime could be fatal to our species and our civilization.
You're saying that the institutions of religion are bringing about all this good in education, healthcare and all that, but then discounting that any kind of institutionalised child rape or abuse, that doesn't come from the institution.
Not discounting it at all. Why am I discounting it? It happened. I'm acknowledging that it has to do with the intrinsic frailty and sinfulness of man.
But why is it not
saying
because of
that
the
the
religion?
institution of
Can I just ask why it's not because of the religion?
And why is it because of the
But
religion?
why is the goodness because of the religion?
But I'm not saying the goodness. I'm saying that the goodness of man is a civilizing force. And religion has been intrinsic to that. The philosophical basis of Christianity, the teachings of Jesus Christ are at the very core of our culture. Of course it has gone wrong from here and there, but in a very marginal way. I mean, we can talk about, we don't talk about the 98% of priests who are not abusers.
Did you refer to the institutionalised and systematic child rape and cover-up of that as a marginal issue? Can I just clarify, is that what you were referring to when you said marginal?
It's 2% of the Catholic priests.
That has been found so far.
That have been found so far.
Well, what is the proportion in society at large, do you know?
I don't have a statistic.
What do you think is more
or less? The Catholic Church is given the power to cover that.
That is more than double in the general society.